guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Clearwater Toyota, and guess what? I have that one interesting vehicle in their lineup that really doesn't really fit any kind of mold of any other vehicle. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Toyota Crown. This particular one is an XLE trim. But before we get into this sedan that actually replaced the Toyota Avalon in their lineup, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Crown name goes all the way back to the 1950s. Kind of crazy to have that historical badge make its way to the United States. Now today, in model year 2025, we have two different Crown vehicles, the Crown sedan and the Crown Signia. Over in Japan, they actually have some other Crown models that we don't get over here in the United States. But like I was saying, it's a vehicle that when you first look at it, you're like, what is it? At the end of the day, what they wanted to do was bring a little bit more luxury to the Toyota lineup, passenger volume, and of course, a very unique driving experience. But what I want to find out is this XLE version of the Crown all that it's cracked up to be? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, probably one of the most popular colors right now in Toyota's whole color palette is Storm Cloud. This vehicle color we've featured on many different vehicles from Toyota. Looks really good on the XLE trim. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna get standard LED lighting for your daytime running lamps, for your headlights and your turn signals. Then you're gonna find a large area of gloss black. So interesting to see how at the front at least, there's not a lot of body color going on. It's mostly gloss black. A little bit of silver. The good news is nothing is fake at this point right here. Now, as we come across the front grille, here's where it gets a little weird. So we have functionality up top. You have lighting that goes all the way across from driver's side to passenger side, but then you're gonna get this sort of like Dorito shape, triangle shape upper portion to the nose. This portion is not functional. Down below it is. So kind of interesting how they did that. Another thing that's interesting is that it's not just straight up gloss black. It's gloss black all the way around the perimeter. This center section is a gunmetal metallic gray. You'll notice the silver that goes from one side to the other, and then your lower lip, which is gloss black as well. But very interesting face. And it's crazy because the Crown Signia, which is an SUV, a crossover SUV, doesn't really look like this. So even though they both have the Crown name, very, very different. As we rise up, you got that Toyota badge. I know a lot of people were hoping that they were gonna put a Crown badge somewhere on this vehicle, but they did not. Styling wise, it falls in perfectly at this point with your new Camry, your Corolla, and your Prius. So very, very universal styling, and it fits it well on the Crown. When we come around the bend, what are we working with? XLE trim. So XLE trim is actually your entry trim into the Crown. Machine aluminum gloss black. If you're wondering what's the size, 19-inch wheel. Tires are gonna be 225 on the width, 55 series sidewall. And then one thing I'm not a big fan of that I have to zonk is the flat black around the fender opening. That to me says SUV, but this isn't an SUV. It's not even a hatchback or a sportback. It actually has a trunk like a regular sedan. But let me know what you think about the wheel style and if you're okay with that flat black. Coming down the side, we got Storm Cloud on the tops of the mirror caps, your LED turn signals, and then you do have bright shiny metalwork. Because remember, XLE, the L is not for lucky, it's not for love, it's not even for Lucy, it's for luxury. And that's where we have the bright shiny metalwork. You do have color matched on the door handles. Another section of gloss black. That's another area where, do you really need that there? I'd rather it just be body color and not even like just pop this plastic panel out and just have the indentation, kind of weird. And then that flat black side skirt. Working towards our rear, you'll notice how we have, it looks like a sport back design, like this is gonna lift up, but it doesn't. Interesting shape to the quarter glass. And then swinging it around back, I think the back of the vehicle I like the most because I like the way the lines come off the roof onto the glass, onto your trunk. They did a great job on the lighting. I mean, really all nice LED. You got your crown name. There's no physical actual crown. All of them are all-wheel drive, and they're all hybrids to some extent, depending on what trim you go with. And then dropping it down, just super clean, flat black with a little bit of silver, no exposed exhaust. But I really like the way they did this design in the gloss black at the rear. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what the heck is powering this crown. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. This is another thing. It's just little things that don't make sense to me. There shouldn't be a prop rod. There should be hood struts. So I am going to zonk that. Underneath the hood, that is that bulletproof, tried and true, 2.5 liter inline four. It's paired with 3 electric motors, producing 236 horsepower. It's mated to a 0.6 kilowatt. Here's the kicker. It's not a lithium ion battery pack. It's the older nickel metal hydride battery pack, which is, believe it or not, more reliable than the lithium ion battery packs of today. It is mated all to a CVT, 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds. Top speed is governed to 116 miles per hour, but here's where you're the winner. MPGs, 42 in the city, 41 on the highway, and 41 combined. The vehicle weighs 4,013 pounds, and that's with the all-wheel drive. And remember, the all-wheel drive is, there's an electric motor out back. No drive shaft connecting the power supply to the rear. It's a motor. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about what it has, let's turn it on and see it move. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Crown XLE trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, you're right. This car is weird, but I like it because I'm weird. So how much is it? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right at $43,000. Let's see what you get when you go with this midsize. This car is a midsize. Let's see what you get. To the door panels. I like the clean style, soft touch material throughout. I just wish there was a little bit more of that bronze copper color that you see on the door handle and around the edge of the gloss black for the controls. Too much gloss black there, that's a zonk. And they do give you some contrast stitching with it, which is nice. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe you could get one blueberry muffin and a Venti coffee from Starbucks. Remember, Venti is their large, that's 20 ounces. Going from the door panel to the dash, they did bring some of that bronze copper. Looks good here. Soft touch material. Slide on in, you got a 12.3-inch infotainment system. It's that usual multimedia software from Toyota. Throw it into reverse. Backup camera, not the best resolution, let's be honest. But it does have trajectory, which is nice. And then we're right back where we started. Technically, that's where we started. Working our way down, you do get 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and your dual climate control, real toggle switches. There's your power on button, because remember, this is a hybrid. Wireless charging, 2 easy access USB-Cs. You got a place where you could stand up a payday bar, electric shifter for your CVT, your different drive modes. I'll show you that when you come to the business side. And I like the way that this is a gunmetal gray finish. 2 cup holders. One of these key fobs is for this car. It's this one because it says Crown very faintly on the back. We need new key fobs, Toyota, come on. Noah had this on the Arc. We need to get rid of it now. Soft material. What I like is I could open it up for me. I could open it up for you, and there's weird stuff in here. This is kind of neat. So you have a felt line tray. This is where you could put your gold rings, you know, your collection. Some people, believe it or not, like to wear rings on all 5 fingers. And the reason why they do that is in case they're in a fist fight. I remember my college roommate, Mark, there were 2 things he would always make sure when we would go to downtown Orlando, because we both went to school at UCF, he'd always make sure he had rings on and he had loose fitting clothes. So if somebody was to jump us, he was ready to brawl. Got some other material in here. You got a USB-C. You got enough room in here. I would say you could probably fit 6 glazed donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. Nice hot glaze. Mark loved the hot glaze too. After he kicked someone's butt, he would go get a donut. Seats, the soft text. I like the piping. Nice bolstering. It is electric assist on the passenger side. It is electric assist on the driver's side. Sad news is no sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Crown. All right, guys. Business time behind the wheel. You do get a little Crown name here, but it's the Toyota badge. Where's my Crown? You should at least get like a physical Crown to wear while you're driving your Crown. Maybe go to BK and get yourself a Crown. Make yourself feel special, because everybody's special today, right? We do have our seat controls, easy to get to. The seats are comfy, they're supportive. And it's interesting because you do have a lot of room in here. Steering wheel, unique to the Crown. You got contrast stitching, a little bit of that copper finish, flat black on most of the switchgear. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you do have your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Like I said, you have your different modes. And I know Steven loves this part because he loves playing Forza 37 and Gran Turismo 78. And these graphics remind him of playing those games. So nice to have the different things, especially for Steven. Something for Steven. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna be happy you went Crown. All right, guys, back seat time. And you could see just how much space is back here. There's actually probably more than what was in the Avalon, which this car replaced. Large pockets behind the seat, like the way there's some nice stitching. And of course you could put churros back here. I want some churros. What's sad is there's a Costco right up the street, and they don't sell churros anymore at Costco. Still got the chicken bakes, still got the damn hot dogs and the pizza, but no more churros. WTF, Costco. You do have a command center in the back with a little bit of that bronze, 2 USB-Cs. Another nice pocket, but I have no damn churros. Seats are heated, one-stage heated seats, no ventilated seats in this trim. Woo! Soft, and then bam. 2 of the most complicated cup holders I've ever seen. Why does it, do you really need to have a cover here? I guess that means luxury. And then you have the same piping and stitching like you do up front. But let's get into the trunk, because I want to take you for a spin in this Crown. All right, guys, time to get into the trunk, because like I said, it does have a physical trunk. Hit the button, it's actually hidden right there, very well within the trim. Lift it up, see, I wasn't lying. There's your trunk space. You do have that rear seat that folds down 60-40 split. It's 15 cubic feet of space. Here's the big question, does it have a spare? Ding, ding. It does have a spare, so that's good news. But why don't we go ahead, now that I proved to you that it has a trunk, if you're ready, I'm ready, let's go for a spin in this Crown. All right, guys, we are leaving Clearwater Toyota. We're in this 2025 Toyota Crown XLE trim. I have it in sport mode. And right away, I do love the setup of the interior. Even the way that the center console kind of comes up a little high, it just feels good in here. Getting to the 12.3-inch infotainment system well within reach. Heated seats, the ventilated seats, that's nice to see on the entry trim. And the full digital gauge cluster. Handling, it's very composed. And what's nice is you got all-wheel drive no matter what trim you go with. But I'm gonna go ahead and slow down for a second here. Nobody's behind us. And we're gonna go on throttle from a dead stop. You ready? On throttle. Nice. Instantaneous. Of course you have that CVT, which is not my favorite, but if you're looking for MPGs, no other transmission is gonna give you more MPGs than either a direct drive transmission or a CVT. But going down the road, very comfortable, very supportive seats. The big difference between this and like a Lexus vehicle is when it comes to the sound deadening material. You can hear a little bit more of the road noise and the outside noise, but wind noise is actually pretty minimal, which is nice. Visibility is great. Even out the back glass, like you would think that kind of sloping rear glass would be a real bear to look out of the back of. It really is not. And as you can see, this car is very maneuverable. But I really, really like how it drives down the road. And it's like I said, it gives you good visibility because the car sits up a little higher. And it's just very surprising how well it drives. That to me is the kicker. Very, very surprising how well it drives. Toyota knows their hybrid system, so you know that when it comes to the hybrid technology, that it works so well. You don't hear the engine turn on and off. It's a very seamless transition, and they really got it down pat. Because that's what's going to help you get those great MPGs. But driving it in traffic or driving it on the open road, I think you're going to find that it actually does everything very, very well, which is nice. And then of course we're going to get back out on the highway here, because I think a lot of people are going to drive this on road trips, business trips. Just very, very smooth. Getting to the infotainment system, getting to the AC controls. Love the fact that even though this is an XLE, which is the entry trim, you're still getting heated and ventilated seats. You got your different modes. And it's just very, very easy to drive. The digital gauges have the information very quick at a glance. You can see your speed, your power gauge, all those different things very nicely done. Then of course this has Toyota Sensing 3.0, gives you your adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, all those goodies. But it really, I tell you, Toyota does a great job on their seats. That's really where the interior shines, is the good quality of how comfortable the seats are. And it's fascinating how composed it actually rides down the road. There's not a lot of nosedive when you're handling, and there's not a lot of body roll, which is nice. And the fact that it has all-wheel drive, I mean, like I said, that really opens it up to so many people in so many different climates that need that all-wheel drive. Really, really surprising how well this car gets about its business. And then, like I said, handling, I mean, look at this, we're on the brakes, handles very well, and the visibility is fantastic. But we're gonna go ahead, hope that this was a good overall review. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Toyota and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Clearwater Toyota. Definitely got to thank Steven and the rest of the crew getting us this 2025 Storm Cloud painted Crown XLE. Let me know what you think. Is it worth the price? Does this make sense to pick up and to enjoy day in and day out? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. It's crazy. Just yesterday, Stephen entered this pizza eating competition down in Safety Harbor, and he took home the grand prize, $1,500 cold cash. Congrats, Stephen. Spend your money wisely. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.